welcome to another exciting episode of TrendingSA here on SABC3. It's 6 p.m. and we're here to keep you informed, entertained. My name is Mable and I'm with my two queens. The first is not your typical Afrikaans Macy. It's Elma Smith.
And darling, and you're looking so gorgeous.
And I graduated to the middle of the table. I'm Beyonce today.
Mama, she made it.
She's smart, she's articulate, and she's got an entire library in her house. It's as big as the Johannesburg Library. It's Refilling Pakanyani.
Stick with me, son, and I might just take you on a tour of the whole entire vineyard.
What else is
as
there?
well. Oh my goodness, stacks on stacks on stacks. Stuff in that house.
So you're rich.
Overboard. But anyway, tonight we have an exciting show lined up for you with Women's Month coming to an end. The iconic LGBTQI plus film and television producer, get that right, Dr. Bev Ditsie joins us for an enlightening conversation about the inclusion as well as the visibility of queer women in South Africa. It's going to be a good one, yes.
And later on the show tonight,
Yeah?
we'll be giving away, Laleland, guys, Laleland, I'm excited about this. Later on the show tonight, we'll be giving away a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 to the value of 27,999, guys.
Yeah.
And also,
Yep.
there's a Galaxy Note Ultra. Now, this is worth 36,909. These numbers are insane. They're just insane. Like, I can't even pronounce them. And this will be our first giveaway of the season. You do not want to miss this.
I cannot wait. Father Christmas over here with me, and I cannot wait for that. We love hearing from you, so join the conversation on all our social media platforms with the hashtag on3. It's time for Top Trends.
Bazalwan, our vices are back. We can zol and pooza. I can say zol on air now because it's legal.
Why would you? Of course you can. If a whole minister says that and it gets turned into a song, you can say it anytime you want
Wow. And Tweeps actually took to social media to celebrate the new year. And these are the
Ridiculous.
trending topics that are out there. Hashtag return of alcohol.
Yeah.
Guys, ngicela ukuthi abantu bakaMashu ne, I need to explain to you, Elma. People of KwaMashu, the reason why we found ourselves with immediate effect, they had a funeral and it was a mess.
But did you not have alcohol in your hand sanitizer in KwaMashu?
You know what,
Please
guys?
stop Donald Trump.
To blame one area and one community for this is a lot. Did you see those snaking queues throughout the afternoon from the morning?
Not in my neighborhood.
Guys,
I'm in the birds.
It's a lot.
No. We don't do that. Hashtag level 2 regulations.
Yep.
Guys, can we please behave ourselves? These are the trials for December. If we mess this up, we're not Decembering. Oh, Silili will get out there and say with immediate effect on November 30, guys, let's not do this.
This is like a group project at
It
school.
is.
Do not be that person who lets the group down, Mable.
We're depending on you, South Africa,
Guys,
please.
let's all just behave. Siyacela, please, singashon.
I want to ask though if this is going to fall on deaf ears, and I feel like it just might. Anyway, yesterday after the live show, I was scrolling through my timeline and I saw this very interesting tweet. Take a look at that. Yeah, Zomato introduces period leave for employees, the first major company to do so in India. Yes, you read that right. Zomato, a global food delivery company based in India, has decided that they're going to be giving their female and transgender employees up to 10 days of period leave.
Yes.
So progressive. I absolutely love it. Now, the announcement, which was made a few days ago, I think deserves a round of applause, guys. It really, really does. It really, really does. Period pains, cramps, and everything in between that comes with Auntie Flo every month is just so much to deal with. You feel me on this one, Elma?
I think anyone with a uterus is feeling this.
Sure.
And if you have a heart, you would understand why these policies are necessary. Everybody is different. Every female body is different. Every period is unique. And they are not the first company to do this, Mable. This is actually happening already in places like Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and here on the continent. Can we hear it for Zambia?
And of course, it wouldn't be just another thing if some Oh, sorry, I mean people didn't agree with this policy, and there it is.
There's always one.
Be nice said, dear Wokzamato, men should get an equal number. Gosh.
There's always one.
Why
Just
do men
mess up the
feel
party.
whenever we talk about these things,
Yeah.
Uguti, they can actually have a voice?
Entitlement.
And
That's
also,
it.
I think the issue here is that no one's even talking about period poverty. There are girls who have to choose between eating and dignity, between school and dignity. If men made the rules, all pads would be free.
Amen. Distributed in public places, we could access them easily without a fight. That's all. That's simple.
Guys, do you know, Mina, I'll tell you one thing. If men actually menstruated,
Big if, yeah.
we would have taken out our uterus. I know I would have lost mine at 18. That's the first thing I would have done. I would have gone, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Not doing this.
Locked it up. Well, you know what, guys? Unfortunately, we need to move on to this. And on the subject of women, we do get more serious. We woke up to this hashtag Justice for Gwasa trending this morning. It is another day in South Africa, another GBV hashtag. They tell us to leave and we leave, and yet men still kill us. We've marched, we've sung songs, we've held vigils, and we've spoken to our brothers, and yet they still kill us. We, as TrendingSA, stand with the hashtag Justice for Gwasa, and we want to call on Minister Begitele to do something. Segwanele, Budala Gwanele. We'll leave you with that thought. See you after the break.
And just like that, we are back in your screen hour. We welcome to the show Dr. Bev Ditsie, who's the definition of a pioneer. Over the years, she's used her work in film, television, and in documentaries to challenge, redefine, and reimagine narratives of the LGBTQI+ communities. She's here to talk to us about the visibility and the representation of queer women in society today. Now, for those who don't know, she was directly involved and right there at the forefront of the inclusion of gay rights being constitutionally recognized in South Africa. We were the first country on the continent and on earth to do this. This is her speaking at a UN conference in Beijing in 1995. This was a huge moment.
I urge you to make this a conference for all women, regardless of their sexual orientation, and to recognize in the platform for action that lesbian rights are women's rights, and that women's rights are universal, inalienable, and indivisible human rights.
Wow.
Such an honor.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm
You
so
are
honored
a
to be here.
superstar. You are a
Thank you, my
superstar. Look, you're the first huge celebrity we've had here.
Oh, wow,
You
guys.
and vibes.
Well, okay, thank you.
After that speech, it's been 25 years.
Yeah.
It's been 25 years.
Yeah.
Do you feel that we have made the strides that we should have made in 25 years?
Nope. No, not at all. I think look, the fact that I'm able to sit here on a mainstream TV show
Yeah.
is a thing. And so, one needs to acknowledge that we have moved,
We have moved.
but we haven't moved far enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the discrimination that women, that the queer community faces is still astronomical.
Yeah.
Not just in South Africa, but worldwide, And so we were very hopeful when we made that speech, and I say we because it was a collective.
Sure.
We were very hopeful that the whole world would recognize that lesbian rights are women's rights, which are human rights, and that there would be strides taken to make sure that we don't face discrimination. But women still face discrimination anyway. Right?
Exactly. And to that point, and to build on that then, Dr. Bev, we're in the middle or towards the end of Women's Month. We talk and celebrate, we talk about women, we celebrate women, but from that conversation, or in that conversation, is enough being spoken about women in the queer community, and what should we do to make sure that this conversation is more inclusive? Solutions.
Solutions. I mean, I think that this is a step.
Yeah.
Having this conversation, we need to be having a lot more conversation that are inclusive.
Should be more aggressive.
I think normally I find that the queer voice is an afterthought. Is that a lot of conferences are happening. There's a lot of webinars all over the place, especially, with the lockdown worldwide, is that there's all kinds of conferences happening, but very rarely do you find in a feminist space where there's, boom, here's a either a lesbian person, a trans woman, a non-binary human that's in the space. Very rarely do you find that just as a norm, that we are all having the same conversation, because we are just as discriminated against as everybody else, if not more so, right? And so this kind of conversation needs to be more inclusive, and there needs to be a lot more done to make sure that all human beings are recognized as having a voice.
Speaking of recognition and having a voice, Halle Berry withdrew recently from a movie where she was set to star as a transgender character, and she got a lot of backlash. She said to Variety.com, the transgender community should undeniably have the opportunity to tell their own stories. What's your take on this?
Absolutely. There are so many trans men, not just in the USA, but in other parts of the world, that are actually actors that can do the roles. Here's the thing, is that even in our own professions, as filmmakers, as actors, as musicians, we just never generally get the opportunity. Even in queer spaces, you find that there's still cis-het people that are the ones that are doing the performances. I am sorry, but this is true. Meanwhile, the queer people who actually have to make a living off of their craft never get the opportunities. So trans women are being played, the roles are being played by cis-het women who have roles generally, and this trans woman would probably have that one job as their only job in an entire year, if not more, you know what I mean? And they don't get the roles. And that is very sad. Also, what it does is that in your mind, you have a particular way of looking at people and saying, this is what a trans woman looks like. And the more you don't have the different nuances, because we don't all look the same. In the same way that the representation of lesbians in South African television, for example, is that of the, stone butch, daddy, and a lot of the time they are gun-toting, dacha smoking.
And they just need such nuance.
Meanwhile, the different nuances, they don't exist. So when somebody says, oh, I'm a trans person, or I'm non-binary, the question is how? Because we're not visible, we don't get seen. And there are nuances that a cis-het will never be able to get.
Absolutely love that.
I don't care how good you are as an actor.
Dr. Bev, when you speak about, inclusion, and we're talking about, it's been 25 years. And then we celebrated last year when we had a finalist from the queer community in Miss SA. Do you think we should be still celebrating first? 25 years
25 years later. I think that's, the fact that both you and I are like, why are we still celebrating first?
How does that?
It tells you everything it needs to tell you. About how invisible we are in the space, about how we just never, besides not being given the opportunities, one would think, why don't you grab the opportunity? Trust, we try.
And also the myth of leaning in is a difficult one too. We need to break that down. I really think we do. But black queer identities, as you just said, are not monolithic, right? It's not all just one thing. So we need nuance in that conversation. We live in a big city. We're used to hearing this jargon that we've been throwing around the table today, and we take all these things for granted. We say, of course, this all makes sense. But how do we become better allies or perfect allies, if there's such a thing, so that our family and our relatives and communities that don't understand this conversation that we're having, how can we be better allies so that we can pass on the message and the right kind of messaging so we don't do further damage?
Well,
I'm really curious about that.
Look, I think it begins, first of all, by having Ubuntu, As human beings, if you're hearing something or you are in a group of sisters or brothers or anyone and the language is disturbing, it's violent, it's discriminatory, the first thing is to kind of speak up and say something. That's being an ally, right? But also in terms of opening up spaces and saying, wait, I am not an expert on this issue. Let me call somebody who has the lived experience. That's opening up. That's allowing the person who, rather than have a half of information and a half a story where you can't actually describe what is a trans man, rather bring somebody who can then explain that in a nice and humane way, because then they're explaining it from their own lived experience.
How do we empower the new generation? How do we make sure that they don't face the same stuff that we've been dealing with for the last 25 years?
You know what's sad for me, Elma, is that I remember in my own activism by the late 90s, I kept saying, I'm putting myself out there and doing this so that younger generations don't have to go through what I went through when I thought I was the only one I knew, right, in the 80s. And then to look back and see that younger ones are still struggling just as much, it hurts. because then it kind of puts to question our own activism and where we have failed. And I'm sure there are many other, my own elders of activists who are looking at what's going on in the country right now and saying, we have failed somewhere along the line, you know? I would love to see a space and a country and a community where people are people, where we respect each other as equal human beings, where we are not othered, where we're not seen as something that we're not outside of ourselves, where images of ourselves in all our diversity is on our screens and in our media, in our newspapers, in our magazines.
Speaking of media, Dr. Bev, I got so excited hearing that iconic speech we saw earlier on will be turned into a movie. Can you tell us more about it, please?
Quickly.
Oh
my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, wow. I'm seeing the snippets of it right now. Look, 25 years ago, we made history, right, in Beijing. A lot of people don't know what actually happened in Beijing. All people know is that, there was a lesbian speech.
Yeah.
And they know about me and the speech. But actually, there was a whole lot that happened when we were there. And so, you know, this is a passion project that I sat down during the worldwide lockdown. We were meant to come together because it's 25-year celebration. We couldn't come together physically. So instead, we got together online and actually just started sharing our memories of the story.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was a beautiful conversation. Unfortunately, iskhathi sidiweyinja. Do not. And to you at home, I hope Uti, you are inspired as we are. Continue the conversation on our socials with the hashtag #TsaOn3. After the ad break, 2 lucky somebodies will be going to bed as the new owners of a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and a Samsung Galaxy Note Ultra. The features on these devices are worth the buck. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching TrendingSA on SABC 3. It is time for a new segment that we like to call Transformation Tuesday. This is a feature where we, along with you, South Africa, get to experience and experiment new popular trends to hopefully help you make better choices and transform your life.
You know when Mable gives you that smile. In just a few months, we have seen our lives change in unimaginable ways due to COVID-19. The lockdown and the isolation has had effects on how we do business, how we work, how we connect, communicate, and how we entertain ourselves as well.
And many people had to suddenly adopt and rely on digital technologies to remain functional during this pandemic. Last night, with the help of Samsung, we challenged you to actually send us 30-second videos of how you communicate, work, and connect with others throughout your day using mobile technology. I also made something of my own. Take a look.
Groggy, about to open the curtains.
No tugging. I'm tired, I'm old.
Hey! Okay, cool. We can start this meeting. I'm here.
That is literally how every meeting starts. Mable comes through the door and we can start this meeting now.
Thank you.
We received all your submissions, including Mable's. Thank you so much for playing along. And make sure your phone is right there next to you now, because right at the end here, you could walk away with a brand new Samsung Note 20 Ultra. But for now, let's hear from Samsung's CEO and President of Samsung Africa, Mr. Sung Yoon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. And then Samsung's head of e-commerce and service, Kagiso Kale, welcome to the show as
Thanks
well.
for having us.
Mr. Yoon, let's just get to it. How's 2020 for Samsung?
Yes, 2020 gave us all unexpected challenges.
Yeah.
However, this does not change the Samsung philosophy. Putting people first. And we need to remain committed to our society and community. So, for example, we donated the rapid testing kits to President Cyril Ramaphosa because we understand this is a critical time to curb the spread of the virus. And we already donated thousands of smartphones and tablets to the frontline responders, because we understand they are true heroes who need all our support.
Definitely.
So consumers' purchasing behavior changing this year, but the most important thing for us is consumers expect Samsung's continuous innovation, because innovation is our DNA. So 2020 never stop our innovation.
So you're talking about innovation now. You recently launched this Note 20 that we've got here. What can you tell us about the device?
Yes, this Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and Note 20, we got such the positive response from consumers. They see this is the most innovative product at this time in terms of 5G. Both can support 5G, means hyper-fast, low latency, and for the future mobile communications, and more future-proven. And the second is S Pen. The Note has S Pen, which is super powerful. Think about you are attending a meeting and you don't have a Note or pen. This is a solution. So first, the new feature is switch to the text. You handwrite and switch it to the text, and it can download it as a Word file or PDF. Easy, you can send to your team. And second interesting feature is like it has a shake to screen save. And we can download while you are Googling or searching. So just a shake the pen, and it will do the screen capture.
Mr. Yoon, sorry to cut you. We are pressed for time. But what we did here at TrendingSA, we asked those people to actually submit some videos for us, and we picked a top 2. So when we picked a top 2, these are the videos that we see. We need you to tell us who our winner is.
Okay.
Feels so good. Oh my God, I feel so good. Feels so good when you treat me like no other. No other. Feels so good when you call me your lover. Your lover. Feels so good. One lucky brother. Lucky brother.
I love technology, and I love this little computer that's in my hand the whole time. That's obviously my phone. I do a lot on my phone. I create cool videos.
Under pressure. I'm smoking pressure.
I document my art.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
I plan my days, and sometimes I even attend.
Impressive videos. Thank you so much to Mel and Kanawe. Kagiso, who's the winner?
Who's the winner? You pick the winner.
They're both creative, but number 2.
Number two.
All right. We've got you on the line, number 2. Hello.
Mel.
Hello? Hello?
Mel, you just won, Mel. You won the Galaxy Note 20.
What? Mom!
So the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is coming your way.
Thank you so much, Mel. It's coming your way. And if you are there at home, we've got another phone to actually give away. And I will be on the TrendingSA Instagram live tonight, giving away the phone at 9 p.m. Listen, thank you so much, South Africa, for joining us. We won't be seeing you tomorrow, obviously, because there's soccer, but we will be on Thursday.
Okay, well, thank you so much to our guests for joining us and for you for watching along. We'll see you again on Wednesday or Thursday. Cheers.
Thursday.